PFL 4 2022 regular season full card prediction. We got Clay Collard coming back fighting Alex Martinez in the main event. Antonio Carlos Jr., Bruce Souto, Oliver Aubin, Mercier, Raush, Manfio, the former champion, Jeremy Stevens, Myles Price, Teodoras, Aukstuolis versus Omari, Akhmedov, and a lot of good prelim fights as well, like Natan shows Marcin held, Delan, Monte, Emiliano, Sordi, Wilkinson, Viktor, Pesta, Silveira, undefeated, taking on Marthin, Hamlet, and Bruno, Miranda, Jennerman. We're going to do all of the predictions for every single one of these fights. If you want to see the timestamps to every single one of these predictions, make sure to check down in the description down below, and make sure to read that pinned comment down below to find out how to see all of my bets that will be made for this card. But without further ado, let's get into the first one here in the UFC lightweight division. Bruno, Miranda, and Jennerman in the UFC lightweight division. Now, this one really doesn't have anything to do with the actual season. They just put it on there for maybe the winner of this fight, if they win in exciting fashion, maybe they can get a shot on next year's season. But we got Bruno, Miranda, and Jennerman here, a 29.5-year-old and a 32-year-old. One of them fighting from Tiger Muay Thai with deadly punches and kicks, going out there getting knockout wins almost every single time. 3 fights in a row with knockouts, and if he loses, it is also inside the distance. This man does not like to go to a decision, likes to go out there, pressure his opponents, get their back into the cage, throw body kicks, head kicks, really big wild hooks, uppercuts, overhands, and things like that. And he can continue to do that up until the later rounds as well. Wrestling and grappling, probably going to go with Jennerman here just a little bit. He is going to be a little bit more experience as well, and has fought the better competition like Bobby Maffei, Alex Gilpin right there, Dwight Anderson, and then Damon Jackson, who we just saw inside the UFC not too long ago. But this is a close one. This is one of those fights where, you know, Jennerman is just a really solid grappler, but not a lot of people know about him, and a lot of people are going to look at maybe these knockout losses from Rafael Barbosa, from Damon Jackson. They're going to be like, oh, he doesn't really have that good of a chin. And Bruno Miranda, being a guy that has so much power, you're going to sort of tend to lean to Bruno Miranda to win, as 93% of the vote are doing. I mean, it is just absolutely insane how many people are actually going for Bruno Miranda to win this fight. If you look right here for the PFL odds right here, He's what, a 3-1 favorite right now. 270 on the betting odds to plus 230 is absolutely insane. I'm going the underdog in the first fight of the night in Jennerman. The man has fought better competition. He is younger. He is taller. He is lengthier. That's going to actually force his opponent to close that distance on him. And with him having the better wrestling, the better jiu-jitsu, and things like that, I definitely am leaning Jennerman, the 3-1 underdog, to win this fight in the UFC. I'm just kidding. PFL lightweight division, Marthin, Hamlet, and Silveira in the light heavyweight division. And I'm going to go with another underdog. I don't usually like to go with a lot of underdogs on these PFL cards, but a lot of underdogs usually win on these PFL cards, and Marthin Hamlet is one of those guys where he kind of wins like in dominant fashion. It's a really good finish, submission, TKO, just dominant decision like last time, and then when he loses, it's pretty sad, but it's against like solid guys like Antonio Carlos Jr. and Corey Hendricks. One of them, in Corey Hendricks, it was just he got gas in that fight. Now, this one with the undefeated Silveira, the slight favorite here, the 9-1 favorite on the Tapology predictions, it's a 50-50. This is a coin flip type of fight, because striking-wise, kicking game, yeah, you might be able to go Silveira a little bit, but in terms of the hands, the power, the speed, and things like that, it is all going Marthin Hamlet. In that scenario, the boxing game clearly goes Marthin. He can definitely put on the pressure, catch Silveira coming in with a good right straight, like he did with Corey Corey Hendricks not that long ago. So it's a 50-50 in my opinion. Silveira's got a good shot of winning. He's got really good grappling, really good wrestling, but this is not at all a good stylistic matchup for Silveira. He's a good grappler with not the best striking. Martin Hamlet, also a good grappler with better striking. This is going to be a striking match with Martin Hamlet and Silveira, and I'm picking the better striker in the underdog. And Martin Hamlet right now is at plus 150, started at minus 150, so people might be seeing that undefeated record of Silveira and just betting him because of that. But I think the underdog, Martin Hamlet, gets the win here in a decision. I don't think he goes out there and finishes Silveira, but unanimous decision win for Martin Hamlet in the PFL light heavyweight division. Rob Wilkinson and Viktor Pesta in the light heavyweight division. Pretty similar height, but a little bit of a reach advantage for Rob Wilkinson. Power advantage, we're going to go Rob as well. The man has been on a streak, just finishing like everybody he has fought after that loss to Israel Adesanya, and he's looked very, very good doing so. I mean, his win over Bruce Souto was absolutely dominating. He absolutely destroyed Bruce Souto in that fight, whereas Viktor Pesta went out there known to be a pretty good striker and got knocked out by a wrestler in Omari Akhmedov and got TKO'd in the very first round from an overhand right, the slowest punch you can possibly throw. We was not able to have the movement to get out of the way. So if he's not having the movement and the striking defense to get out of the way of a wrestler's overhand right, of course, the fast, snapping, powerful strikes of Rob Wilkinson, they will be able to catch inside on Viktor Pesta. And with Rob just being the way better striker here, he should easily go out there and, in my opinion, catch Viktor right down the middle with a right, just a right straight knockout Viktor Pesta in the first or second round. Solid fight there in the light heavyweight division. Emiliano Sordi and Delan Monte in the light heavyweight division. Delan Monte, 28, almost 29 years old. He's a little bit smaller, and dude, why is his reach not known? No idea. The man already has a fight in the PFL, and somehow they have not been able to calculate what his reach is. Makes no sense, but he's a good jiu-jitsu guy. I mean, he submitted a lot of guys in the regional scene, but he gets submitted himself. He's one of the guys where he either gets a submission or he gets submitted. He either gets the finish or he gets finished. I mean, that's pretty much his career so far. 5 knockouts, 3 submissions out of the losses, 2 submissions. It's clear. The PFL wanted Delan Monte to come into the PFL season and just rack up the finishes. Oh my God. Emiliano Sordi with a finish, Antonio Carlos Jr. with an easy first round finish. They're trying to build up the PFL prospects and say that they're really, really good because they're getting early finishes by putting them against a guy like Delan Monte, who's not a bad fighter by any means. He does have some legit grappling and jiu-jitsu, but Emiliano Sordi is also very, very legit on the ground, has a lot of submission wins in his career, but he's the better striker. It's clear that PFL wants Emiliano Sordi to go out there, defend the takedowns easily, keep the fight on the feet, and use his super far superior striking to go out there and finish Delan Monte right there. He's going to knock him out in the first or second round. Really good fight in the light heavyweight division. Natan Schulte and Marcin held 2 in the lightweight division. Now, Marcin, the dude did go out there and beat Natan Schulte about a year and 1 month ago by a unanimous decision. Just grinded to that decision, wrestling and just staying on top and kind of holding that position. That's kind of what he was able to do in that fight. Whereas Natan Schulte, he took that loss against Marcin Held, went after that and beat Alex Martinez in a very close split decision. Then he lost to Oliver Aubin Mercier by split decision this year. I mean, the man cannot stop getting close fights. I mean, so many split decisions, really close fights for Natan Schulte. But originally, when I first saw the fight, I was going Marcin Held all day. I was like, dude, he dominated him a year ago, out-wrestled him, took him down, and grinded that decision. Why am I not going to go Marcin Held to win? And the reason is, Natan Schulte's takedown defense, it's not it's not 100% better than it was last time, but it wasn't like Oliver Aubin Mercier was absolutely dominating him on the ground. He was able to defend a lot of those takedowns and strike him very, very well on the feet. Natan's a much better striker than Marcin held right here. I think with the fact that Marcin is coming in on short notice, with the fact that Natan Schulte, his striking has improved, his takedown defense has improved, whereas Marcin literally just has not fought since his last loss against Oliver Aubin Mercier. Don't know what he's been doing, but it doesn't sound good to me. It's a close fight. Still is a 50-50 coin flip type of fight, because you never know. Marcin could literally just do the exact same thing he did last time, but I know Natan is going to be training. He's got some really good prospects over there at American Top Team. They're going to train him to defend the takedowns that he was susceptible to in the last fight, and he's going to outstrike Marcin held on the feet. But it is a very close fight, leaning Natan Schulte by a 29-28 decision. Omari Akhmedov and Teodoras Aukstuolis in the light heavyweight division. I'm going to be honest, this is a pretty easy prediction, guys. Now, it is an Omari Akhmedov fight. He's a very inconsistent guy in that he can go out there and get knocked out easily by freaking Jordan Young. Or he can go out there, have a really close fight with a top 15 Brad Tavares, a top 15 Chris Weidman. Or he can go out there and get knocked out by Jordan Young. I mean, this dude is so inconsistent, I can't even tell you. But this is a huge step down in competition for Omari Akhmedov, and a guy that just got absolutely destroyed on the ground with wrestling and grappling. This seems like a no-brainer. On the feet, the Teodoras is very good at defending shots and not getting finished, so I think the fight will go to a decision. Omari is going to land some big shots on the feet and just grind his way on the ground to a very, very dominant unanimous decision. Omari Akhmedov by unanimous decision. Jeremy Stephens and Myles Price in the PFL lightweight division. I was about to say UFC because Jeremy, the man is such a UFC veteran, but the man has not been doing too good. Jose Aldo, Zabit, Yair, Cater, Gamera, and Collard. If you notice anything about all of these guys, they're all ranked. I mean, they're all either supposed to be, in my opinion, PFL champions like Clay Collard, or they're ranked fighters inside of the UFC. And he also beat a guy that's fighting this weekend in Josh Emmett. This dude is legit. He has power, and PFL is trying to set him up with the fight here. It is so clear that the PFL wants an easy victory for Jeremy Stephens, an easy knockout win in the first and second round. It's so simple. Like the PFL really, really wants that to happen. And yes, Myles Price went out there, got a split decision on Peter Queally. Yeah, I mean, he had a decent performance at the beginning in the Anthony Pettis fight, but he got caught. And on the feet, he's nowhere near the skills of Jeremy Stephens. He's taller, he's lengthier, and things like that. He's got some good movement on the feet. But, dude, eventually Jeremy Stephens will close that distance like the PFL wants. He's going to catch him on the feet, knock him out in the first and second round. And we're going to see another Clay Collard, Jeremy Stephens fight in the PFL playoffs, because that's what the PFL wants. They want another banger fight for the fans to be just salivating about, because that first fight was an absolute banger. So it's so obvious Myles Price doesn't have any grappling or wrestling to really concern Jeremy Stephens, and striking, you already know, Jeremy Stephens in the first or second rounds. Raush Manfio and Oliver Aubin Mercier in the UFC, I'm just kidding, PFL lightweight division. Raush going out there, I mean, he's on a crazy win streak right now, beating Joyton Luderbach, split decision, Anthony Pettis, split decision, Clay Collard, unanimous decision. He probably should not have won that fight. Loic Radzabov, unanimous decision. And then a come from behind crazy victory over Don Madge right there. Absolutely insane. But he's going to be a little bit lengthier than Oliver Aubin Mercier. He's going to be a little bit taller. No, sorry, lengthier. Younger. Oh my gosh. He's taller. God damn, he's lengthier and he's younger than Oliver Aubin Mercier, and he's going to be the better striker. I don't know what I was saying right there, but he's the better striker. Knocked out Don Madge in the third round. Had some pretty solid striking against Radzabov, Joyton, Anthony Pettis, Clay Collard, and things like that. And he was able to do very, very good on the feet. Takedown defense-wise, it's not the worst. It's not the best either, which is why this is one of those coin flip type of fights as well, because he is prone to getting taken down every now and then, but he's not a type of guy to just accept that position. He will kind of put himself in a little bit of danger to get back up onto the feet. But again, Oliver Mercier is not really the submission type. He's more of the take you down, grind you out, and just hold you there. Submission-wise, I don't really think he has too much of a threat on Raush Manfio, and I think if Raush is able to get taken down in the fight, if Oliver is able to land the takedowns on Raush Manfio, it'll kind of be like the fight this weekend with Valentina Shevchenko and Taila Santos, where it's going to be, will the judges side with the control time and the little tip-top ground-and-pound shots from Oliver Mercier, or are they going to side with the hard shots that Raush Manfio is going to land on the feet? Personally, I think they're going to side with Raush Manfio. They keep on siding with him on those judges' scorecards, and again, I can't stress this enough. He's not going to get held down by Oliver Mercier. He's a solid grappler and wrestler himself. I think he'll keep the fight on the feet for the most part. He will get taken down eventually, but on the feet, he's far superior to Oliver Mercier, and I'm leaning Raush to win 2-1. Oliver might win 1 round just based off of holding him there, landing some tip-tap shots, and maybe trying to attempt like an arm triangle or something like that, but other than that, Raush is just, he's a decision machine. When the fight goes to a decision, this man wins that decision. So I think it's going to be a close fight. Should be -110 if I'm being quite honest with you. But I'm going to go Raush Manfio to win this fight by a unanimous decision. Antonio Carlos Jr. and Bruce Souto in the UFC, I'm just kidding, PFL light heavyweight division. They're both 32 years old, but look at the reach. I mean, come on. How much taller and how much lengthier is this man? He's 8.5 inches longer, not in that, in arm size, and then a 4-inch height advantage right there over Bruce Souto. Yes, Bruce Souto has some power, knocking out Travis Davis with a flying knee, and showing some good striking on the regional scene in ACB and future MMA inside of the LFA as well. But in this fight with Antonio Carlos Jr., it's an easy prediction. Antonio is honestly the better striker here. He's taller, he's lengthier. He kind of had a very close striking match with none other than, what was it? Freaking Brad Tavares in the UFC. Split decision, very, very close. And he was able to hold his own on the feet as well. So even if this fight somehow manages to stay on the feet, Bruce Souto somehow defends the takedowns, Antonio is still going to beat him on the feet, if I'm being quite honest with you. And on the ground, come on, guys. Antonio is going to absolutely destroy him. PFL setup fight if I've ever seen one. Antonio Carlos Jr. inside the distance in the first or second rounds. Clay Collard and Alex Martinez in the PFL lightweight division. Height pretty much the same. Reach pretty much the same. Age pretty much the same. Experience heavily favoring Clay Collard in professional MMA experience. We can definitely count that amateur career that he's had, going out there beating LFA standout Benjamin Bennett, losing only to William Starks, who's a really, really good prospect himself, and just beating everyone else pretty much. So he's a good guy. He's got a lot of experience as well. Even though his professional record is only 9-2, the man has like 18 amateur MMA fights against legit professional MMA fighters. Now, let's talk advantages and disadvantages. Of course, we know what they are. Alex Martinez, better wrestler, better grappler. He's a good grinder, likes to go out there, keep the fight on the ground, and just grind, look for the decision. Yeah, he's got the advantage there. Clay Collard, power advantage, speed advantage, volume advantage. What can I say? It's a striker versus grappler / wrestler matchup. And it's another one of those fights where Stevie Ray, even in the last fight with Alex Martinez, Stevie Ray was still able to make it very, very competitive and even outstrike Alex Martinez. And he was even able to rock Alex Martinez a few times in that fight. I'm not going to go far enough to say Martinez is going to get knocked out here. He's a very durable guy. Doesn't get knocked out very easily. I mean, he'll eat the shots and then he'll land the takedowns after that. So I'm not going to say Martinez is going to get knocked out. It's possible. It's very, very possible. But I think Calder's going to do whatever he can to defend the takedowns here, keep the fight on the feet, and outstrike Alex Martinez for 3 rounds. He's going to make it a clinic. I mean, he's got really good leg kicks, knees to the body. I mean, he pulls that Muay Thai clinch right down into his knee very, very well. And not to mention the boxing, man. Clay Collard is absolutely legit. I really, really wish that he was still in the UFC because the man is 21-9. The man fought freaking Max Holloway. He fought Derek Minner over there. He fought Gabriel Benitez, Nick Hampton. I mean, all of these guys. he would have been a very, very good UFC fighter. Now, I mean, that was 2014, 2015. He has improved significantly since then. His striking's better. His wrestling is better. Not to believe that. His jiu-jitsu's better. I mean, everything is better about him, man. Martinez, as much as I like to see him as another really solid prospect in this PFL lightweight division, his striking really needs some work, and his finishing ability definitely needs some work, because if he's just out there grinding on the ground, wrestling and grappling, not really doing much damage on Clay Collard, he's going to lose the fight, because on the feet, he's going to get lit up, land the takedowns, and they're going to side with Clay Collard on the judges' scorecards. So Martinez really needs to focus in this camp on finishing. He needs that submission, needs that arm triangle, that rear naked, that guillotine, whatever the case may be. He needs a submission. He needs it fast. I don't see it happening. Clay Collard by a unanimous decision. That was the full card prediction for PFL for 2022 regular season. I got Clay Collard, I got Antonio Carlos Jr., Raush Manfio, the underdog, Jeremy Stephens, Omari Akhmedov, Natan Schulte, Emiliano Sordi, Rob Wilkinson, Marthin Hamlet, the underdog, and Nate Jennerman, the underdog. So I got 70% favorites winning on this card, and I have 30% of the underdogs winning on this card. Check the pinned comment down below to have access to my Instagram, ask me questions about this PFL card, and if you want all my bets that I am making for the card, because we have some good underdog bets that we're making, we have some good props that I am definitely thinking of, and we have a lot of parlays in mind as well. If you want all the bets that I will be making for this PFL 4 card, and for any other card, UFC, Bellator, LFA, any of that, for an entire 30 days, the cost is only $2.99. The cost of a water bottle for a full month of PFL, LFA, and UFC bets. Literally any MMA organization, plus the occasional boxing bet as well. We're up 100 units on the year, $10,000 in total. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you want to sign up, you can click about on the left side of your screen will be the Bird MMA logo. Click that and become a member. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Let's go.